What up? What up? We here with another episode of Talks with the Crew. We stepping inside the locker room where we talking about what we talking about, and we saying what we saying. And as always, at the end of the day, you heard what I said. I'm your boy Cam. You can follow me on X, Mr. J Cam and Mr. J Cameron. Excuse me. And of course, I gotta start off by introducing my co-host. At first, we going backwards today. We got the young gun introducing himself. Step to the front, man. Talk to the people one time,
Man,
Bill.
it's your boy Bill, man. Follow me at @Cameron22. We got a good show on today. We're gonna be previewing the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hey, tune in. We're about to get kicked off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Young Gun excited to talk about his rivals, his arch nemesis. Of course, you know we gotta have the OG in here, Paul Wall. Talk to the people one time, Matt.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Matt. You can follow me at X, Coach Matt 49. Like he said, we got Mississippi A&M. Oh, excuse me, my bad. Mississippi State. Should be a good show for y'all though.
We coming off with the disrespect out the gate. That boy said Mississippi A&M. Nah, but man, of course, we told y'all every week, man, we want to come forward with a special guest. And this week, we got none other than Mr. Darius, Doc Brown, the Mississippi State guy. Introduce yourself, man. Talk to the people one time.
Man, what's going on? I'm Darius, Doc Brown. You can check my X. It is Doc Brown 1220. I'm a Mississippi State fan by heart, so I'm just glad to be on with you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, of course, like we said, we discussing Mississippi State, man. So we got to start in the past. You know, last year was a rocky year for those guys. It was a lot going on coming off the loss of their coach. So Bill, what you got for us, man?
Man, these guys' record from last year, they was 5-7 overall, and it was 4-4 in the conference. For what the coach had to go through, I feel like that was a good year. I mean, you pick up off of, God forbid somebody dying, you had to step into place and pick up the slack. So they went 5-7 last year in overall, but 4-4 in the conference.
Man, one thing I did notice, points per game was pretty low, man. I'm sitting here looking at 21.8 points a game. They were 107th out of 133. Doc, how you feel about that, man? You're a Mississippi State guy. I see you over there with your hat on and all that, man. How you feel about last year's team?
Well, first I'm gonna say Cam, he was a little more nicer than me. I feel like last year was just an epic failure. In every sense of the word. Even though he did come in, it was from the circumstances. He did inherit a 9-4 team the year before. We returned a lot of the same key players. I just feel like with a changing of a lot of the offense, we didn't have the players to fit the scheme. So it kind of took its toll on the season. And any of y'all, we all done play sports at some point. When you're going through stuff like that, it's kind of hard to stay motivated. You can see it weigh on the team as the season went on. So, it's kind of one of those things where I'm kind of glad we in the place we in now. It's unfortunate, but I think things are looking better for us going in the future.
Yeah, man. As always, man, we want to send our condolences to the family. Rest in peace to the Pirate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A great football mind, air raid mind. You brought up the point about the offense. I believe where he messed up was changing the offense completely with the roster that you had. That was a situation where you should have had a multiple package offense. You should have had a multiple set offense and gradually move forward to what you're trying to do. You can't have a spread offensive line and try to power run game. That's not gonna ever work. I don't care what conference you in. I don't care if it's middle school. I don't care if it's high school, college. It's not. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's to all in all. This leads me right into this question. I'm glad you set that segue up, man. Do you feel that former coach Zach Arnett was given a fair chance? Matt, I'll start with you.
Man, kind of going off what y'all was saying, the offense, the team, it just wasn't built up for what he was trying to do. But at the same time, that's as the head coach, that's on him. The buck stops with him, so to say. And he knew what he had going into it. He knew the type of talent he had. Like you said, you got a spread offensive line. You can't just, condense them back down basically in a sense, to being a power run game. That ain't finna work. And I kind of look at his year there as the same way I looked at Matt Luke when he was at Ole Miss as the head coach. It's exactly what it was. It's an experiment to see if this guy will work. See if we can get some wins, maybe get some momentum, see what happens. Clearly, it wasn't working. And so, honestly, I think, it is what it is at this point. And they knew it was a 1-year chance type of thing. And if you don't get it done, you got to go.
Yeah, Bill.
Man, I'm gonna say.
Man,
I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say. Hold on, no, I'm gonna say
you
it.
thinking too hard. You don't even care.
Nah, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this. Was he given a fair chance? I would say yeah. I feel like he was because he was already there. So it wasn't like you bringing somebody new in where you just get rid of them the first year. I feel like what played a big part in this was changing the offense. And like you had an air raid quarterback and you try to make him be a read option quarterback. Like, and we all know Will Rogers, he can't run. So, like, you kind of went against your own. You kind of went against the grain. And I feel like that was a fair chance for you actually getting the boot like he got. So, yeah, I'm going to say he did get a fair chance, and he showed us what he was going to do. And, yeah, he mildewed.
Okay, interesting. Go ahead, Doc. I know you got some words for him.
Well, I'm gonna say, me personally, I feel like he was given a fair chance. It don't take a long time to see the writing on the wall, especially in today's college football. I'm a diehard State fan, so to see the momentum he started with when he got the job, I believe it was more one of those where you want him to succeed, but as time go on, you kind of seeing that he's not built for that, especially that role at that particular time. A man had never had no head coaching experience, always had kind of been the second guy or the third guy. So, a lot of State fans, we kind of wanted him to succeed. We kind of felt like he had that Mississippi State hard-nosed, rugged, hard-hat mentality. But as the season went on, you could see that didn't have that ability to lead or rally the troops. I look back to when he was the defensive coordinator, you could always see him animated on the sideline, but all last year he just looked like a deer in headlights, almost like he was looking for somebody to come and save him. So after about the third, fourth, fifth game, it's kind of one of those situations where, okay, yeah, you can clearly see we're going to have to move on. And then when you start seeing the perception of the program go from where it was to get so bad, that people who've been locked in with State crews start decommitting. And they was decommitting because it's like, well, what we're seeing produced on the field, I can't, make plays in offense, you know what I mean? And then I went to some games and you can feel it in the stadium. It's just the air sucked out. I feel like he was given a chance. I feel like this, if they would have kept him, man, I'm just gonna be honest, man, it's no telling where the program would be and how far down. So, like I said, you given a fair chance. You inherited, like he said, a 9-14. That's what I want to look. Even though he's the first year coach, you got a 9-14. We had just come off winning the Egg Bowl, winning a bowl game. You returning a lot of your key players, like you said, to completely change the offense. He just seemed like giving a kid some keys to a car, and they just go out there ride. They don't know what to do with it. Can't keep it, can't keep the vehicle up. And I just feel like he wasn't the leader. And some people are great being the second man. But it's different when you have to make some of those calls on your own. So I'm glad that he got a chance, but like I said, it's time that we had to move on. And you could clearly see even after he lost the job, the players at least played better. It's like they looked like they was trying to play for something. So, he got a fair chance. I don't think it was nothing else he could have done besides make things worse. So I feel like he was given a fair chance.
I guess I'm gonna come at it from the coach's world. Was he given a fair chance? I'm gonna say no, and this is why I say no. I feel like for the only way he was gonna keep that job is if he won the SEC. I think he was just a band-aid to hold over until State could get the coach that they were looking for, or a better coach to what they were looking for. Only reason I say that, you could kind of tell going into it everybody was all emotional because of how the situation happened. You inherited a 9-4 team, like you said, but at the end of the day, any coach that had came in was gonna flip the offense. It's not too many coaches out there that run the spread. You get what I'm saying? So you would have inherited the same roster, and you'd have had the same situations he was dealing with, and trying to instill your new offense, and instill the new mindset, and instill your philosophy. Now, did he look like a deer in the headlights? Absolutely. It was a lot of times where they panned to him, and all you saw was him with his arms folded. He wasn't even talking. Like, why you even got a headset on? Like, he was just standing over there at this point. So, was he in over his head? I do believe so, because he had no head coaching experience, like you said. He had no clue about offense. And for him to be a defense coordinator the way he, for the years he had and defense looked poo-poo a lot of the times.
Trash.
If we being honest. Now, I will say this part. Did he inherit a 9-4 team? Yes. But let's be real. What state record consistently?
So I'm gonna say eight wins.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he 5 and 7 this year.
Well, let me ask you this. Go ahead. I'm gonna ask you this question because I'm gonna be honest. Initially, I was on the side of you, right? I really was. But we kind of live in that time now where it's more so, what have you done for me lately? And you got to think about this. If you look at last year to start the year, I think we started the year off, I want to say like 3-0. If you remember, we beat an Arizona team who ended the year as one of the hottest teams coming up in college football last year. We beat them. When we went to South Carolina, that was the first game that the actual offensive coordinator let Will Rogers kind of do some of the things that were similar to what they did the year before. And even though we lost that game on the road, we was right there with the 5 minutes to go in the game. I just feel like once you start seeing your players give up, and then I'm going to say this, when a lot of reports came out after he was let go, that you lied to the players basically to keep them. You're telling them that we're going to do this. Then when the season comes, you're doing something else. I just feel like
that's everywhere though.
Well, I'm gonna say you would know. You would know what I'm saying?
That's every program does it. I don't care if it's they do that over here in Texas high school because there's so many. You know what I'm saying? It's so many schools over here. You got kids transferring. I mean, you got kids posting on Twitter that they transferring different high schools for their senior and all that crap. So that happens. No, that happens everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Wow, but I get exactly what you're saying. What have you done for me lately because of the money that's invested, especially with the NIL. You know what I'm saying? That's thrown into it now. So
and let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question too, J. Cam, before you move, because you like that you experienced in this playing football and different things like that. And we talking about him giving a fair chance. At the point that the program was at, what could he sell? Because this is the reason why I say in the time of NIL, people are not going to invest in the program if they don't see a great product. Then you got kids already starting to decommit. So my question would be to you, like, what would have been his, I guess, go-to going forward? I mean, that's my question.
Well, number one, it's hard to sell something when they let you go before it's over with. It's hard to sell or fix a problem when they, you know what I'm saying, when you get the boot in the middle of the situation. How can you sell somebody on adjustments you want to make and how the program's gonna go moving forward when, like you said, you're losing the locker room, so you still trying to latch on with the players, you still trying to keep the donors and boosters engaged, you're still trying to have fans show up to the game, you still trying to build camaraderie in this coaching staff, because not only is it the players, like it was division among the coaches, because all these guys are new. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pretty much on the offensive side was new. So who knows what kind of dreams they sold him in the interview process? What good does it make for him that we get to week 3 of a first year OC and I know I'm a defensive head coach and I fire my OC? Now where we gonna go?
True.
We gonna try to implement a whole nother offense all over again? So now we back to square one. So that would be my pushback to that. You can't sell a fix when you don't make it to the end. That's like having a flat tire and you ain't got no spare. Then what you gonna do?
I mean,
better start.
That's what he did. They gave him his walking papers. You hear me? He was up out of there.
But I'm gonna tell you this: when you get to the game and you see it, I'm gonna say this: when the SEC game is looking like ICC,
Oh boy.
That's look, when you look in the stands and the only people there is the band and the football players' parents who just supporting. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna say this because, like I said, this is my team. I'm behind the scenes. I'm on all the fan pages. The challenging thing was the boosters wanted him to succeed. They really wanted him to succeed. After the Arkansas game, they said we can't do with this no more. You win 7-3, and that's because Arkansas did everything they could possibly do to lose the game. You can't even throw the ball 10 yards down the field. Like, so I'm saying, I just feel like this.
Think about who y'all had a quarterback that game too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's always a pushback when you have a new head coach. You can be tough on the coach. You can, you know what I'm saying, drive the nail through the coach's heart. You can try to blame it all on the coach. But it's not always just on the coach. Because sometimes as a first-year head coach, we missed on this guy. Prime example. Coach Prime in Buffalo. First-year head coach. Oh, I think I got this dog. I think I got that dog. And I missed.
On a lot.
You know what I'm saying? But the difference with that, I mean, I understand his name, but at the end of the day, he knew what he had to do. He went with a plan, and it looked like he fixed the issue. I ain't gonna see him lie to you. Now, would Arnett have done the same thing? We don't know. But even with that, y'all's AD, is this his first year? You know what I'm saying?
Actually, when we had Arnett, when Arnett came, that was another thing
right?
too. We didn't have no right.
Who hired him? The president?
The president. Actually, the president, but they went through the. A lot of these schools now are using like I want to say like a agency to try to get them ADs and stuff. Go ahead.
So when was he hired on? The AD.
He was hired. The AD was actually hired on. I want to say in the middle of the season or somewhere, as far as the middle of the beginning of the season, somewhere in that time. So it was already set in stone that Arnett.
There you go. That's why I say the only thing that circles back to the point I said at the start of that. The only thing that would have saved that man's job is if he won the SEC, because all he was a Band-Aid.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that
to get everybody through the situation, because I was here. It's hard that you lose a head coach, you know what I'm saying, and you still have several players, like you just said. Y'all turned over a lot of roster from that 9-4 program. It's hard to have several players, 80% of your roster, that was here with a head coach that just passed all of a sudden. Like, I'm sitting on the couch and I see the ESPN ticker talking about he in the hospital in intensive care. Like, what's going on? So the players were the same way. He had just coached the Egg Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So now I need to have somebody here that was here firsthand and saw it and understand and feels the same way the kids feel, so that he can embrace them. He knows, okay, they might just be dealing with some emotions from the coach or something like that. You can't just bring in a Nick Saban or somebody else and he bring his whole staff and they not be sensitive to the situation. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So all he was a Band-Aid to get over the situation. And now we have Coach Jeff Lebby, former Ole Miss OC. Man, what you know about him, man? I know you're a hidey-tighty rebel black bear, land shark, fish.
Chill out.
KFC
Chill out. Well, Jeff Lebby, man, he's a really good offensive mind when it comes to the offense. I haven't seen him be a head coach yet, which we will all see this year, how he does. But as far as offense, very high octane. They're going to definitely move the ball. They're going to score a lot of points. I'm going to tell you that now. They're going to score a lot of points. He have playmakers on the outside. Definitely got a quarterback that can do what he want to do with the ball. So, yeah, he's very, very innovative when it comes to offense. He's going to get everybody involved. His main thing that he loves to use is his tight ends. Honestly, I haven't seen Ole Miss use our tight ends like he has since he's left. So, the guy, he's really good. That's all I can say about him on offense. Just tell my truth. I hate he left us. But, hey, man, you make business decisions. He got paid more, especially to go back home. So
from the 2023 roster, coaching staff, whoever, who you have as your key returner? Go ahead.
Mike.
You got something, Doc? You got something, Doc? You got something, Doc?
I didn't hear the question. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying key returner for this year. This is new. This is interesting. You picked wide receiver coach Chad Bumpus. Explain why you picked him, Bill.
They really don't have no key returners. After I look at the roster, I don't see any key returners. Everybody really got is incoming freshmen or transfers. I don't really see any outstanding key returners that, you know what I'm saying, the guy that played slot for them, Xavier Thomas, he would have been a key returner, but he went to LSU. So only guy I could think about was Cole Bumpus. Like, I mean, he stayed. He was the storm. And
shout out Bump. Shout out
Bump, man. Shout out Bump.
Now, would you agree with that, Doc?
As far as the key returner, now, well, of course, because Mississippi State is my team, you know, I'm gonna have more knowledge about them than the average person. Now, I will say this: I do think Chad Bumpus was a key returner. If we talk about players and coach, because he really just have a grip on the state as a. Then you talking about a real Mississippi State legend. I had the pleasure of being at Mississippi State when he was at State, and the two of the biggest influence and personalities I seen the time I was there was him and Dak Prescott. So you talking about somebody who know what it means to do it on the field, know what it means to do it off the field, still young, can really connect with the players. He give me kind of like the coach, and I'm saying on a smaller scale, like the Coach Prime vibe. Like kids want to play for him. He got the ability to connect with them, and so he's a key returner. Like you said, we got a new coach, so we having to basically do a rinse and repeat, if you will, start over from the ground. So I knew it was key for him to keep Bumpers on the team. As far as the coaches, him and David Turner, those the main two that I wanted him to keep, because you got to keep somebody that has a connection with the state, connection with players in the state. And so to do that, I feel like it was a no-brainer. Then I feel like for Chad, it was a step up for him, because you think about it, now you get to really show what you can do as a wide receiver coach. With the offense we was running, he could get the players, but he couldn't really, determine, like giving them a chance to show what they can do. One thing I can see about with Coach Levy, he targets mismatches. He get the playmakers the ball, so you don't have to really worry about coming to Starkville now and not being able to showcase your talent. And especially if you got a new coach, you got to have something to sell. And what can he sell? The last 4 or 5 years, he's had a top 10, top 5 offense everywhere he's been. You can't say he's a man that succeeds just because of the place he's in, because he'd have been at Ole Miss, I want to say Oklahoma, UCF. So the proof is in the pudding. And when you at Starkville, let's be honest, we're not a blue blood. If you're gonna win, you have to win with a specialty. So that's why I'm glad you got somebody like a Jeff Levy and some that he can sell to potential crews. And you can already see it now. We starting to get traction with players we would have never got traction with if we didn't have something like the offense to sell.
I tell you what, bro, I like how you set it up and ran right into this next segue right here, man. Just the previewing. I know one person I'm excited to see. Me and Bill was talking back and forth with, and I told him he was not coming to Ole Miss. Stonker. I'm excited to see what he gonna do in this offense. Because one thing about Levy in the offense, even though he don't have the title as the OC, we all know his fingerprints gonna be all on this offense. And one thing I know about him is he gonna get his athletes the ball in space, and he gonna let y'all be playmakers. He gonna let his dogs be dogs, no pun intended, and he gonna let them boys do their thing, man. So I'm excited to see what the young gun gonna do. I mean, Matt, who you excited to see, man?
Man, I was actually going with the same thing, man. Excited to see that for sure. Just because I feel like Levy, he's gonna open it up a little bit more for him. You're gonna go from this closed off playbook to something that's wide open. You're gonna see a lot of motion. You're gonna see a lot of, different type of trick plays, almost, if you want to call it, different type of formations, different type of just, switching, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of motion, a lot of eye candy and everything like that. So I'm excited to see what some of these skill guys can bring to the table as far as with what Levy's going to do. Um, so I think he's going to have, far more success with the guys that are there, and they'll probably bring in a few more skill players. That's one thing State's always been pretty good at. Other than having that solid defensive front, they've had really good skill guys throughout the year. So it'll be interesting to see, what he can do and what to like with those talented young guys, and with some of these transfers that's coming in.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Bill, well, I go to Doc first, and Bill, I'll let you end it on the end, man. Doc, what you well, give me your expectations and thoughts going into the 2024 season.
Well, I'm looking just for, like you said, a more open offense. I'm just excited to see somebody who's going to kind of bring excitement back to our team, especially with what we went through last year. Not only, like you said, losing the coach, but it was even a little, depressing to see the product on the field. So to be able to know that you got a coach that's going to open it back up, put the ball in the playmaker's hands, I can tell he's driven to get his guys. Even since he's come, he's already been, like I said, utilizing the portal as best as he can. We've getting people to come to Starkville that normally wouldn't come. So I'm just excited to see it. I'm not looking for us to be I ain't look college playoff and all that. My thing is you gotta build your foundation. You gotta have something to build on. So this is what this year is, laying and establishing the foundation. So that's what my preview is for this year.
I'm glad you are a realistic fan, because a lot of those, I don't care if it's Alabama with their new coach, I don't care if it's State with their new coach, a lot of them not having those expectations. Hey, we went and got you. We giving you this money that you said you wanted. Now go get it. Go make it happen. Go get it done.
Right.
So
I need 9 wins first year.
Right. I need 9, 10 wins. I need the Cotton Bowl. I need a New Year's 6 bowl. I need something like that out the gate. That's everybody's. That's just the honest truth. That's everybody's expectation nowadays. You know
well, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm one of the most realistic to me. Now I'm a little biased to myself, but I'm one of the most realistic people. I feel like it's out there. When I see it, I'm not gonna look at something white and call it black. Look at something green and call it red. I'm gonna call it how I see it. As a fan, looking at where we come from, you have to be realistic. If I can be honest with you, how I feel like it was when Lane Kiffin first went to Ole Miss. He had something. Everybody knew he was as an offensive guy, but it took him a few years to tell people, not only this is who I am, but I can do it here. You look at what Lane did last year after the Georgia game. He gets up at a press conference, tell them we getting whooped on the line of scrimmage. I need dogs. And look at him this summer with the transfer portal, has went and re-up, did everything, because now the players have bought in, because we know he's not just talking. He got a foundation. He has proven what he can do. Now he get these guys. And hey, look at this, the place Ole Miss in. So I'm just kind of looking at it from a realistic standpoint. You just want to establish, build a foundation, and then go from there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Bill. Bill, what you got for us, man? You look real.
Man, I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm excited. Reason I'm excited when it comes. Now they won't even tell you why I'm excited. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm listening. I want to hear this.
The first one. The first reason I'm excited is what he started with was the excitement. When it comes to Mississippi State, most of the time Mississippi State is known for defense, not really offense. But knowing they got Libby, they gonna score a bunch of points. So that's one thing. And then two, Lane versus Levy, like that's gonna be a chess match. That's gonna be exciting to see.
They got 11 more before that one, man.
Yeah, they do. But I'm just saying I'm excited about that. But on them, I definitely feel like it's just the right fit. I feel like for Levy, it's a good start for him. I mean, this is his first head coaching job, and then like Darius said, State, they ain't got shouldn't have no high expectation for the first year. Because he just getting started, like you just said, man. He got to give him a chance, and I feel like the type of guy you're getting the innovative mind when it comes to offense. They're gonna score a bunch of points, and then he just trying to change the narrative, like he trying to bring something new to Starkville. So I feel like I'm excited for him. I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy they got a new coach, so the game can be competitive. I'm really excited.
Here you go.
I am.
Here you go with this. Here you go. The Egg Bowl competitive area, bro. I don't care what the record is. Competitive area. Only thing I'm gonna say, man, y'all know me. Matt and Bill, I don't put too much emphasis in the spring, but the effort and product that defense put on the field at the spring game, I hope and pray he went got them dogs out the portal like he was talking about he needed. Well, he said y'all needed some corners and some D linemen or some D ends or something like that.
Because that wasn't it.
Because we all know in the SEC your offense is not going to be clicking every game. And sometimes you need your defense to make a stop. And what the final score was, like 50-something to 40-something. Like, I get it. It's a spring game, but it wasn't too good of a look on the defense coordinator. I don't know who he is. I mean, I understand y'all practice. You was only showing so much. You wanted to be basic and all that, man. But to me, that defense was not a good product that was put on the field, man. But now it's time to have some fun with it. It's about to get wild and help these predictions. Bell, run that schedule down to us, man. We all say whether or not it's a win or a loss.
So we starting August 31st, 2024. They playing Eastern Kentucky. I feel like that's gonna be a dub. You know what I'm saying? Going to you, they're gonna be excited. It's gonna be a dub.
What you got, Doc?
The first game, Dub City, man.
What you got, Matt?
Yeah, definitely a dub on that one. Playing a little high school team.
Yeah, next, man. They playing nails.
I got that. Next game is gonna be Arizona State, September the 7th, and they playing at Arizona State. I got State in this for reason being, I don't know if y'all know or not, but Arizona State starting quarterback last year, he has transferred to Georgia, so Jaden Rashada. So I got State, man. I said, hey, they going 2-0. They're gonna be ready to play, man, on the road. First road game with new coach. I got State.
What you got, Matt?
You know, that the quarterback leaving that situation, that makes me lean a little bit more towards State. But I'm gonna throw a curveball out there. I'm gonna say second week, new coach, still trying to figure things out. They got to go to Tempe. It's gonna be a loss. Close one, but I think it's gonna be a loss.
I think we'll see what State is made of this week when it comes to facing adversity. I think the first half they'll separate themselves. The fact that I'm gonna say is, I know everybody gonna say, "Oh, Mississippi is hot and all this stuff too," but Arizona hot, different hot. Now we talking about 112, you know what I'm saying? Right. 115 on the regular, dry heat, like no wind, and you know, as fast as the offense gonna go, I don't know how deep the rotation is gonna be by week 2. You know you're gonna rock with who you know you got. You usually don't start to see that depth really making an impact until by week 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? Especially with a new regime, because everybody's not picking up the playbook at the same speed. So I think it'll be a tight game. I got Mississippi State by 6 in that one. What you got, Doc?
I got us. I'm gonna tell you this. I got us winning. My mind go back to when we played 2 years ago when we played Arizona in Arizona. It was a night game. One of the main things that separate that you can never take for granted, especially early in the season, is the physicality of the SEC. Just that grit and grind. I feel like Levy coming out with something to prove. I feel like Levy, just looking at him, he has that it's almost that killer that you can't see on the outside because he kind of act like he's kind of even keeled. But the way he's talking, the way the players are buying in, I feel like offense is going to click. It's going to be the defense, as you kind of stated earlier. It's going to kind of have to be able to catch up. But I believe that we'll win that game. It is on the road, so that is something taken into account. So I kind of thought about the same way, about 6-7 points for the W.
Gotcha.
Next game we got Toledo. They got Toledo at home. That's a dub.
Man, come on, man.
That's a dub. After that, they follow with Florida at home. That's a big one. Stay at home.
Man, we ain't got all day, Florida, man. It's either a win or loss. Which one you got?
I'm going to say Florida in overtime, man. I'm going to say Florida in overtime. Reason I'm going to say Florida in overtime because State at home. And the quarterback that Florida got, Lagaway, he pretty good. I ain't going to lie. And I feel like Napier, at this point, he just fighting for his job. I mean, you got to win. If you don't win, you gone. So, yeah, I got Florida probably in overtime in that one.
Go ahead, Matt.
All right. I agree with what he's saying as far as Napier. You know, this year he's got to pull off some wins. He's got to win. I got State with the upset though, and I think he out the door, man.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Matt. I don't even think it's gonna be close. By this time, man. I got State by 17. They gonna have Davis Wade turned up, dog pound rock, all that good stuff coming back out.
Clicking. They're
It's
gonna be
finna get
clicking
ugly.
by that point.
Yeah, yes, sir. What you got, Doc?
I'm feeling like both of y'all. I looked at Florida. Actually, DJ from what we're seeing is not starting right now. So they got the quarterback that came back from last year. I just don't see. I mean, I just feel like Florida's more show than go. They not who they were. And then plus, like you said, you come into Starkville. I feel like that's going to be the prove it game for Levy. And I feel like it's going to be the game that basically does Napier in. I just feel like his time is going to be up, and that's going to be the game to do it. I got my Dogs winning by at least 2 touchdowns in that one.
Yeah.
That game they get is Texas. They got to go to Texas. I got an L in that one for State, man. I got Texas, man.
Not even close.
Right. Wrapping and burnt orange by what they call when you play in the game. 21 skunk, ain't it?
Yeah, it passed the sticks.
It's 21 skunk, ain't it? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's gonna be I got that going down the first L for State.
I got us losing that game, but I'm gonna disagree with you on the skunk. But the only reason being because Texas coming from the Big 12. If you look at a lot of Big 12 games, they be shootout. A lot of those teams, high scoring. I feel like Levy offense is gonna give State a chance to put some points on the board. But I do have us losing that game. I'm gonna say anywhere from 7 to 10. But as far as a blowout, I don't see that one, bro. But I got us losing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They got a bye week
fan coming out right there.
Go ahead. Yeah. I hear you. They got a bye week the following week, and then they go to Georgia. I got a loss in that one again.
Yeah, their bye week ain't gonna help them none. Georgia's gonna be rolling at that point. So I feel like it's kind of gonna be like the Texas game. I don't think it's gonna be close.
Oof. That one I'm a little torn with, man, because Georgia lost a lot. Georgia had some key guys leave, not only with the draft but the portal. I think Georgia. I think the game. It depends on what time the game is. If it's a night game, it's gonna get ugly. If it's an earlier game, State got a chance. Look, man, location don't matter, dog. Put the ball down to play.
Yeah.
And I feel like State gonna have something to prove. They'll give them a good fight. I'm gonna have to still go with I'm gonna have to go with Georgia in a close one.
I'm going with Georgia in this one. I don't think I'm a little torn with Matt because he think we'll give not with Matt, but with J Cam because he give us a better fight with Texas than Georgia. I think.
Oh, you gonna see why? I'm over here. Well, you gonna see why?
Listen. Well, I'm gonna say this: going to Georgia, I got us losing. I feel like with that game, I'm gonna say, man, anywhere from 10 plus. I will say this now. No, I ain't even gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I feel like I will say but also coming off a bye week, I feel like just what to give you a chance to do as far as to regroup, to kind of heal up. It's stepping into your second half of the season. I'm saying that's gonna make a difference us winning the game, but I do think that'll make a difference in how we play.
I see to kind of comment on that, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I see Ole Miss Georgia 2.0. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Oh,
they go cut off the
bring us up like that.
Well, look, off the bye week, Levy's gonna have some different stuff drawn up, stuff that ain't nobody seen. It's Georgia ain't gonna be ready for Kirby Smart. Ain't even gonna be ready for it. I ain't seen it. So it's gonna be a little trickery, little different stuff they're not used to. They're gonna get out on them early, get some points, but Georgia finna put the hammer down and take off. So that's why I say Ole Miss 2.0.
Well, if you look at which Georgia team showed up last year, I feel like Georgia had a little something to prove when they played Ole Miss because they was being told they wasn't beating nobody. And so Ole Miss came in, they souped that game up to be, hey, this is basically a battle of the big dogs. But when I looked at them last year, you got to remember, Missouri went right to Georgia and almost beat them. I think it was another team I can't think of right now that played Georgia close. So I kind of, and I'm gonna say this, it goes back to what J. Cam said. Ole Miss Georgia was a night game. Missouri Georgia was an afternoon game. Two big differences. So I mean, I don't think it'll get that ugly. But then if it does, I will say this: if it does get that ugly, I won't be surprised.
What we got next, Bill?
We got Texas A&M coming to town the following week. I got State, man. I feel like Elko, his first year, Libby won't lose at home that game.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Maybe by 3-6 points. I think it's going to be a close one. Just because coming off of, that road loss at Georgia, I don't know. I think they'll be clicking a little bit better, but not enough to start blowing people out just yet.
I'm gonna go the exact opposite. I know you're gonna get to the schedule, Bill, but I'm looking at it myself. I think that State sees the light at the end of the tunnel after the Georgia game. Their schedule and their competition starts dropping just a little bit week by week. You know what I'm saying? For a couple of weeks. So now I think they got their morale back together. Okay, we got that out of the way. Now let's go ball. I don't even got to be in a close one. I got at least 18. I got State at least by 18.
I feel the same.
Johnny Manziel ain't walking through that door for A&M no more.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. This is where I'm kind of like you, J. Cam, but I feel like this is where you're gonna see if you're gonna make a bowl game or not. I feel like this is the game that has to be circled to say if we're gonna really make a bowl game, we have to have this game. This game and a game that's coming up later that I speak on when it comes. But this is that game. I will say this: Elko he is new. He have new players. The only thing that kind of give me a little something about Elko, he a good coach, man. And he's been some kind of way being able to keep some of those players staying at Texas A&M. So
that wasn't him. That was an oil money. That wasn't him.
Oh, I got you. Now this is I will say this. No, that ain't Texas A&M. I like to get ahead of myself because ain't Petrino went back to Arkansas, didn't he?
Yes, sir. That's next. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say that. But I do have us edging this one out. I think it's gonna be 3-6. I think it's gonna be a dog fight, but we're gonna pull it out. We at home. I feel like being home give us that extra.
Go ahead.
Next is Arkansas.
You can make this.
I got State. I got State, man. I got State. I'm gonna say I got State, but I feel like it's gonna be competitive. I'm gonna say it's gonna be competitive because by Petrino, he always got a good offense, and I mean Arkansas always play hard. But I mean I got State. It's at home. They gonna win.
State at home. I'm gonna give them dub.
I'm going with State, and I'm gonna say they 2 for 2 for getting coaches fired. Napier getting fired at Florida, and then Sam Pittman got to go after Arkansas. You heard what I said. End of the day, Arkansas fans. You heard what I said.
On the chopping block.
2 for 2. They batting 1,000 and getting coaches up out of here. That's on the hot seat.
I got State winning, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this one's gonna be close
at all.
I just don't think it'll be close, and I'm saying because not only when I look at what Arkansas lost, but they didn't bring nothing, and then you talking about Petrino, who his offense just looked a little pedestrian. So I just think State Libby gonna put it on them. Pittman will be in the newspaper the next day. For getting walked off the campus. I mean, I got us winning that one going away.
Well, that game is installable, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, his office cleaned out.
They had it ready for him.
Saturday morning when they leave on the plane Friday, they already clean this stuff out. Yeah. They know how to change the locks by the time the clock hit
pictures off the wall and everything.
Oh, it's over with. They didn't change the security code by the time it didn't hit 000.
They got UMass next. That's a dub. They gonna blow them out.
Yeah, we can get on past.
Blow them out. Tennessee, they go to Tennessee following week. 100,000 going to Rocky Top.
Yeah.
Nah, I got Tennessee, man. I got Tennessee powered by 14 in that one.
Same.
Yeah, one thing we know about Tennessee in them November games, most of them games at home at night. I don't know how the Tennessee pulled that off. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they pulled that off, but most of them end of the season games is a big game. It ain't even got be a big game. The only one that's not at night usually is Vanderbilt. Everything else, if they play anybody else, it's a night game. I don't care if it's UT Martin. I don't care if it's Texas State. Whoever they playing gonna be a night game. And like you just said, Bill, 100,000, 108 or whatever they hold, and them boys will be drinking all day and hollering, and Rocky Top gonna get on your nerves.
Man,
I think it could get ugly. For State.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And it just seemed like those night games, they able to squeeze an extra 1,000 or 2,000 people in the stadium. For some reason, it just seems extra louder at night. So yeah, I got us in that game losing. I'm gonna say this, man. That's probably one of the more games I'm kind of a little more fearful of on the whole schedule because of who it is, where it is, the timing that it is. But yeah, I got us losing that one.
Next, they got Missouri coming to the crib. I got State, man. I think this is one of them defining games. Missouri is a good team. They had a good year last year. I feel like Levy really gonna let people know like it's a new dog in town and we want to win the big ones. I feel like they'll beat Missouri at home.
Oh, I got Missouri in this one. I think they're gonna come in. I think Missouri be able to go in and handle business, do what they need to do. State still gonna be fighting at that point for a bowl game. I think, like at least in my opinion, but I just don't see them getting it done in that game.
I'm going State, man. Missouri lost a 2,000-yard rusher. The running back Slaughter, I think it was his name or something like that, transferred in from D2. But the biggest piece they lost is at LSU now, the defense coordinator. And we all know from last year, Missouri's cornerstone was their defense. So I think that's going to be the difference in this game. I don't think Missouri's defense is going to be able to, by this point, 10 weeks in, 10, 11 weeks in the season, I think State offense is going to be really clicking at this point. So I got State by 14.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really don't have a prediction for this one. This is that toss-up game to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because everything that J. Cam just said is why I like State. But where Missouri is strong at is where we're weak. When you start talking about Luther Burden and the other receivers that they got, that's where we're weak in our secondary. So I just believe that dynamics give Missouri more of a chance. That's kind of a toss-up to me. What I'm hoping for is by that time, things are clicking a little bit better. At that time, you are who you are. You are what you are. You ain't gonna be nothing else. So that's a little toss-up, man. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna say this: we win 24-21, 3 points.
I can see that. I can see that. Now, I'm gonna sit back on this one. I'm gonna let y'all go first. I'm gonna let y'all. Yeah, y'all got it. Go ahead. I don't care who win this one. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell the people who it is first.
Hey, Tell the
people who it is first.
This is the Egg Bowl, and we back on Saturdays, baby. This ain't turkey night. This ain't none of that. We back on Saturday.
For those y'all that don't know, the Egg Bowl is Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. Cameron Bell is the ultimate unrealistic Ole Miss fan. Doc is, as you can see, the Mississippi State guy. That's why we got them two going ahead. My bad, Bill. I had to just let everybody know. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Man, hey, this gonna be a good win. But I got my boys by 21. In this first year, we're breaking them in good, letting them know that lane we ain't playing.
By the dub?
By 21. At the crib, let them know, hey,
by the dub?
21. Yes, sir. 35-14.
Why 29? Nah, Tim, you can't just why 21?
What they is 35-21? Listen, no, that's 35-14. 35-14.
No, I'm saying why 21. Explain why you
say. Well,
then
what I'm saying why 21. I feel like, man, we coming in with a new mission. I don't know if y'all been seeing it lately, but Levy basically said that Lane was having his offense or running his offense, and basically trying to make it seem like without him, he wouldn't have been there. And so I feel like the field's gonna be high, but I feel like we got a point to prove, and we're trying to really get to that championship game, the SEC championship. So we're gonna make a statement in that game. That being the last game of the season, of course, the Egg Bowl, but we got bigger stuff we're trying to accomplish this year. And I got us by 21, man. We got them beef boys, like you said earlier, went in, got in the portal, and we just say we're gonna let them know, man, who run the silk for sure.
Go ahead, Doc. He done with his delusional rant. Go ahead, man.
Well, this is all I'm gonna say. The Egg Bowl is unpredictable.
Bam,
it doesn't matter the record. That's one of those games that comes down to it's just a dog fight. Now I'm gonna say this. I don't understand how he can give a 21-point prediction when we was basically a two-legged dog last year, and they barely escaped Starkville with a 17-7 win, and we didn't have a competent offense at all. This is the thing. They do not have Quinshawn Judkins, so they're going to have to prove what they got between the tackles with the running backs. Their defense, now they have gotten some nice pieces, but as we all know, you have to see it on the field. Transfer portal, I think Colorado had the number one transfer portal team last year, players, and as we can see what happened to them, health comes into play. I feel like with us having an offense, I feel like it's going to be a game. We are in Oxford, so I mean, I would kind of give them a little edge, but I think with the states of the program right now, I'll give Ole Miss. In that game, I'll give them the edge now. But as a state fan, I can't pick Ole Miss to beat us. So matter of fact, I'm gonna go with a shocker. We're gonna beat them 35-31. It's gonna be nothing but offense that night. It ain't gonna be nothing but it's gonna be nothing but offense and fireworks.
You heard what he said.
And I'm gonna say this. What's really gonna do it is because ever since Levy has been the coach, Lane has just picking at my guy. He commenting on his stuff, retweeting him on Twitter, always taking jabs. I feel like Levy gonna have that one. That's one in his back pocket. He bringing the fireworks to Oxford that night. 35-31, them dogs. And you heard what I said.
There it is. You heard what he said, Bill. I tell you what,
it ain't gonna happen. Hold on. It ain't. I'm gonna tell you this. Before you say that, he said 35-31. You think I'm gonna say that? You think you're gonna come in Oxford and spoil our chances to go to the playoffs? Y'all first year? Nah. But go ahead.
It won't be the first time somebody did it, but I mean that's how he feels. How he feel. You said a dub piece. Come on, bro.
It's gonna be a dub. 35-14. It may be worse than that, but I'm telling you, we're gonna
worse than a dub.
We're gonna get off in that game. This is the first year.
I tell you what, Matt, you got a prediction on that one? I don't have one. You got anything to say about that? Go ahead.
I do. Growing up, being around the Egg Bowl, knowing Ole Miss and state football, seeing that, year after year after year, it's a lot of times it's always competitive, especially when you don't expect it to be. I've seen years where Ole Miss was the far better team, and they done went out there and got their tails whooped. I done seen years where state was the better team, and vice versa happened. So, it's so unpredictable. All these rivalry games, so unpredictable. You look at, what was it, 2 years ago? You can make an argument Ole Miss had the better team overall. State comes to Oxford. What do? They pull off the upset. They win.
True.
That was the last time we was in Oxford too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I track record and
So, in my opinion, now here's the thing though. I'm still gonna take Ole Miss, but I don't think it's gonna be a 21-point lead. I think it's gonna be a lot like what we saw last year, where it's gonna be a dogfight, and it's gonna be like maybe a 10-point game. It may be a high scoring game, but it's gonna be back and forth. And I can see Ole Miss pulling off at the end, pulling off a win by about 10 points.
Why you shaking your head, Ben? He said y'all gonna win, bro. You still in disgust over that?
10
He said it's gonna
points
be a
though.
close game.
Come on.
A
But
dub is a dub.
I feel like that's the disrespect though. Come on, bro. Like
Like I
they
said,
first
ain't.
year.
Like Doc said, listen now, look at what Doc said last year. State was and no offense to your team, you know it. Your team was trash. You said it before. They were trash last year, and you barely get out of Star. I mean, barely get out of Starville with a 10-point win. This year it's going to be a little more explosive. It's going to be opened up for State. State's going to be. You said it yourself, Bell. State's going to be able to score a lot more points, way more points than they did last year. That's why I say it's going to be closer than what folks think.
I give you that one. So we might well go ahead and say that's gonna be the game of the week, huh?
Game of the
Might as
year.
well. Not the year.
I'm talking about the TWTC, Talks with the
Oh,
Kids
okay.
podcast. That'll be our game of the week, man.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Might have to
Get Doc back on with us.
yeah, not just that. I might have to make another appearance, man. It might be an on site. I'm on site situation. I know that's Thanksgiving weekend, right? Oh, that's the week after. No, that's the week after. That's the week after Thanksgiving.
What's the date?
Hold on.
The
Yeah,
30th?
it is.
That's the week
No,
after
it's
Thanksgiving.
the week of Thanksgiving, but the end. It's the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
late this year. That's right.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
late this year. So we'll have to see. We'll plan that one by ear, man. I don't care who win that game. I just know it's gonna be a lot of talking going back and forth, and I'm here for all of that. You know what I'm saying? But we right at about 56 minutes, gentlemen. But just want to switch gears a little bit, man, and just kind of talk about a topic that's really major out here in today's society, especially when us men, man, because a lot of men try to act too strong and too big, and egos kind of get in the way. We all deal with different things. Life comes hits all of us differently. Sometimes stronger than others, sometimes quicker than others. Sometimes we feel like we can't get enough relief, man. So just want to, have a quick, 10, 15-minute discussion just about men's mental health and fitness. I know some of y'all might be watching and asking, well, why not just all, everybody's mental health? I can only speak from a man's perspective. I think we can all only speak from a man's perspective. Unfortunately, we're not females, we're not women. So we can't really, speak for y'all. But we'll try to put it in perspective as much as we can, man. But one question I wanna toss out here to everybody, let y'all just kind of run with it, and I go last, man. Is why are men so deeply affected by negative outcomes in life, and why is it so hard for us to ask for help? Bill, I'll let you kick that one off, man. So why do you feel like men are so deeply affected by negative outcomes in life?
Because I feel like the man is the leader. If we're going back to the beginning of time, God created the man to be the leader. So we try to carry a lot on our shoulders, or really everything on our shoulders. And everything, to be honest, when something go wrong, we're looking at the man, especially in a household. If we got husband and wife, you know what I'm saying? Something go wrong, folks ain't looking at the wife. They're looking at the head. So I feel like that's one. And then society, like you said earlier, I mean, it's puffed up. As far as men, they got to be strong. We got to show no emotion. But we still emotional beings. We still have emotions just like female do. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like that's the thing. It's like man is looked at to be a certain image, and it's not really. Like we are still human. Even though we have our certain roles, certain things that we have to carry out in our daily lives, we are still a human being.
I'm with you on that one, man. So Matt, same question to you, man. And I also add in there, why do you think it's so hard for us to ask for help?
Man, kind of like what he said, just the societal pressures and just personal pressures as far as what it means to be a man. And a lot of that, I would say, knowing you two guys, that Doc, I don't know you, but I'm pretty sure you can relate to this too, to where I we had good fathers, we had good role models, but at the same time, they grew up in an environment where it's like, as the man, sometimes life just gonna give you a rough deal. You just gotta, as a man though, you gotta pick up where you at. You gotta pick yourself up, keep going, keep moving forward. You gotta make stuff happen. There is no quitting, there is no giving up. And a lot of times we get that confused with, I gotta do this by myself. We don't want to give up. We don't want to be seen as weak. So in our minds, just being human, a lot of times we look at it like, Okay, if I go and ask my brother for help, if I go to one of y'all and be like, look, I'm struggling with this, struggling with that, then that's gonna mean y'all gonna look at me and think I'm weak. And so I think that kind of plays into that second part why it's hard to ask for help. Like as men, we want to be seen as tough. We want to be the leader. We want to provide and protect all these things that we're told from the beginning of our days, basically. This is what a man does. So we're told that from day one, but we're not told, hey, it's okay to go talk to your boys. It's okay to go talk to other men, other married men, your people that you call your brothers, and confide in them with what's going on. That's not going to make you weak. That'll actually help build you up and make you stronger. So I think if we can kind of kick that idea that asking for help means that you're weak in some kind of way, we'll be a lot greater.
Now, I wanted to come to you last, Doc. Me working with the youth and being in coaching, but you being in the ministry, um, I'm sure you've seen it from several different angles as to why people might feel ashamed or egos or feel like they're gonna be judged. You know what I'm saying? So what is your perspective on this topic?
Well, I think we have allowed society and all these different things to give us a definition of what a strong man is, and it has caused many people to not be human. It's like we almost move as if we're machines.
Yeah.
And I'm learning this that like me and Cameron, we've been connected ever since. Man, he was in the world, and it's funny because my dad and his dad was connected. I'm really connected to his dad, and so on and so forth. And I remember one day I was just praying, talking to God, and me and him was actually going through a little something where we kind of wasn't talking to each other. And one of the hardest things with men is sometimes we have pride, we have ego, which causes us not to be able to open up. But I remember having to accept within myself, not only do I want him around, but I need him around. And as a man, sometimes that make us feel like we weak, like he said, like Matt was saying, it make it come across as if we're weak. But I've learned this, we have to realize we're people. It's only so much a person can take. And then sometimes we have to let people know, you're not going through by yourself, or you're not dealing with it by yourself. I think it's important for, I'm not trying to preach on here, but there's a scripture that says that
No, do you think, man? Do you think?
a friend loveth at all time, and a brother is born for adversity. Mm-hmm. Like there are people that are equipped to help you in your tough season. We can't go through things on our own. We can't go through things by ourselves. And I feel like what happens is when you think about the word depression, there's something actually being pressed down. And what I feel like the truth of who an individual is actually pressed down to make them feel like, well, what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing is the sum total of who I am. And that's one thing that we don't do as men. We don't affirm each other enough. We don't support each other enough. I see, and I know pretty much some of y'all possibly saw where the young man that just transferred from Colorado, he was saying how Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, talks down on the players, takes away their confidence. And some people will look at what he's saying and say, oh, he's just sorry, he ain't no good. But man, confidence is a real thing. Sometimes just knowing somebody have belief in you, somebody is on your side, want to see you do well. And so just to kind of talk about the mental health side of things, I feel like men are actually being brought to the reality of you can't make it by yourself. You can't make it on your own. And I'm saying that because if you continue to try, like the saying is, pressure busts pipes. Man, it's only so much you're gonna take. You know what I mean? You don't have to quote unquote implode. And I'm gonna be honest, you talk about me working in the ministry. One of the most challenging things where I kind of saw where it was a need is because, man, you'll be amazed at even, man, some young kids already dealing with certain stuff that but this is the thing, and I'll relate this to the men, because the man doesn't display openness, doesn't display when he needs help. He sends a message, whether it's verbally or through his actions, that I got to take it. And you don't realize you breed up kids who move the same way. They don't open up because they kind of basically reflecting the behavior that they have had. So it's kind of one of those things where I would say mental health is very important. And then I will say, as with us being brothers, man, it's important that we just check on each other. Sometimes just sending a person a message telling them you gonna make it. And I'll end with this, J Cam, before I let it come back to you. I've been pretty smart in school. I always made great grades. Really, just was naturally gifted. And I remember being in college, and I was in a class, and this is the first class. It was trigonometry, man, and I could not get it. I was studying, it wasn't clicking. And I remember sitting in class, man, tears began to roll down my eyes because I had made up in my mind that I was going to quit school that day. Like, I can't do this. I was already, me and my brothers had a singing group. We was going everywhere. So I said, I'm finna quit school. I'm gonna turn into singing. And my dad, who's kind of, he's a man's man. He don't really do a lot of talk. He texted me that day and said, son, I love you, proud of you. And just him saying that gave me the push to say, man, I can't quit. Like he's dependent on me. And I'm saying from that moment, went on to graduate from ICC, graduated from Mississippi State. So I'm saying, like, being able to, you never know what your words, your affirmation, you know what I'm saying, and pushing people to give them a safe space. I feel like a lot of men don't open up because we're not given a safe space to open up. Like Matt said, you start telling somebody, man, this getting the best of me, this tough on me. Folks start saying, man, he weak. You ain't no man, because we was taught to be robotic and not realistic. And with my wife, I'm married. And I'm gonna tell you one of the most easy relieving things. It's hard to do, but once I've done it, it brings a lot of relief. Man, there's been times I told my wife, like, babe, I need you. Like, babe, I don't have the confidence. We're trying to do some of this stuff, and I don't feel like I can do it. And just to hear her affirmation, telling me she trusts me, what she see, it is giving me the push to be that strong man that I am. You know, so I mean, that's just my take on it.
I got you, man. That was good stuff, man. I think from my perspective, man, all of us are from the South, Mississippi roots. Everybody would call it the deep South. We were all, we were all reared a little different. I'm a little older I'm the oldest one on here. So I know me growing up, it was, men or males, it's weak to show that you're vulnerable. It's weak to show that that you're sad. It's weak to show that you're depressed. Not necessarily showing that you're a weak person, but it's weakness that's going to allow the enemy to really dive into that and drive it home even further to now where everything just overtakes you. So you're always supposed to hide that, suppress that. And the biggest thing was take it to God in prayer. Pray about it. Just pray about it. That was always the answer. Just pray about it. Yes, prayer works. Prayer is great and all that, but sometimes we have to let that out, because if we don't, I mean, I can only speak for me, but every time we pray, it's not wholeheartedly. I'm gonna be honest about it. Every time I pray, it's not wholeheartedly, because sometimes we pray for things don't get better. So now I'm not praying with the same kind of strength that I had in the beginning. So things are just eating away at me. I use myself as an example. Recently, Matt, I think y'all two really don't know. A lot of people don't know. I had a battle with cancer, and it drove me into a point of severe depression because of the fact of I'm believing in the doctors, I'm believing in prayer, I'm believing that things are gonna get better, but every day I'm feeling worse and worse. This medication, these treatments are affecting me worse and worse every day. But one of the things that helped me come out of that, uh, my family, but not only that, like you were mentioning, Doc, Matt, Justin Miller, and Marcus Reed, we all have a group text. And one of the things we started doing was every week we started doing a check-in. We would check in mentally, physically, and either business wise or your job wise, and just 1 through 10, and we would just discuss it. We just send just, hey, everybody check in. How we doing this week? How we doing? Everybody good? Because all of us have different jobs, man. I'm in the business I'm in. I do with coaching. Matt was doing that at the time. I know he's doing something else. Justin Miller was in the medical side with the personal training, dealing with kids, and then you got Marcus now, who's a policeman. So he definitely seeing a lot of stuff, dealing with a lot. And we all know military and police, you have to suppress a lot, and all of that can eat at you slowly, and that can drive you to a point to where that the reason why I bring up this next question, man, is the thoughts of suicide begin to creep in. I'm not gonna act like I haven't been there. I've been there plenty of times. One of the biggest issues I had was when football ended, when it stopped. from college to now I got to be an adult. I got to be a grown man. What am I going to do? You know, I'm talking to all these NFL teams, going to all these NFL workouts. The phone's not ringing. I got to find a real job now. I got to provide. I got needs. I got medical bills. I got this. I got that. What am I going to do? And every week, all this stuff is mounting up. All this stuff is piling up. All this stuff is piling up. I feel like I can't get no help. I can't get my head above water. So I say this. I actually did put a gun in my head and pulled the trigger, but it jammed. And from that moment, it made me realize I'm here for a reason. God kept me here for a reason. And that's why I pour into the kids the way I do. So this was before I even met you, Lil Bill. So that's why when people see me out there coaching and interacting and having relationships I had with you, with Lil Jerry, other kids I coach Meridian, other kids that I've come in contact here with in Texas, it's because I truly care for your well-being, because I know that my story can help save somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I know we all need somebody to talk to. We all need somebody to hold on to. We all need somebody to pour into us. We all need somebody outside of the people that's in our household to show us that you matter. I care for you. I love you. I'm here for you anytime, man. So I say that to say, man, recently I had a personal loss. I'm not gonna put any names out there for the sake of the family, man. But just a close friend, roommate who actually committed suicide recently. So this topic really hits home for me. It was on my heart. I know we are calling ourselves a sports show, but like we said in the first episode, we also want to put out the information that people want to hear that can help somebody else. So don't be too hard. I mean, don't be too proud to talk to somebody. Don't be too proud to reach out and ask for help. If you don't have anybody in your phone you can contact, here's the number right here to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-8255. Any time of the day, somebody will always pick up that phone. No matter the hour, no matter the situation, somebody can be there to just get you through that moment, to get to the next moment. The next moment might be rocky also, but that just might be the time you need to get the exact help that you need. You know what I'm saying? So that's my spiel on it, man. Anybody else got anything that they want to add to it?
Yeah, man. Much like what you were saying, just some of those, similar experiences as well. And you especially, you, Mark, Justin, as much as we talk, as much as we, check in on each other like that, personally, that's been a big help for me. Like, I'll be honest, life will get the life, and man, it'll kick you while you're down, and keep kicking you, so you can't get back up sometimes, or at least it feels that way. But having a strong support group around you, and like you said, sometimes it's harder when it's coming from the folks that's in the household, because you with them all the time, or let's say like it's a loved one, it's someone like family, close family member, or maybe even a wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. And it's like it's all, it's good to hear it from them, but sometimes it's like, okay, you're in this role, you gotta play that role, right? So, but when it's coming from people outside of the house, people that we may not talk every single day, or even if we do, it's just a text, or it's folks I used to play ball with, it's folks I grew up with that we just still stay in touch. Like, a lot of times that can be the one person to where it's like you said, Doc, those words, those affirming words can really help you get back up on your feet, help you keep going, um, and just kind of help boost you up and be like, man, yeah, I can do this, and I can turn around and can, like you said, like my story can then help somebody else out. Um, so definitely, similar situations, and been there, and grateful for, the people in my life, and especially the folks that I call brothers. If I call you a brother, that means you have a special place in my life. I don't let too many people, in that certain situation. So I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Well, I know we've been on here for a good minute, hour and 15. Doc, man, we appreciate you coming in on a day with us, man. We
Yes,
appreciate your
sir.
insight. That was good conversation, good talk right there, man. Um, you more than welcome to join the show anytime. Our platform is open to you at any time, man. Shoot, been knowing you since you was a pup. You know what I'm saying? You more than welcome anytime to get on, man. So like I said, appreciate you getting on. Everybody tune in next week as we will get ready to preview the Texas Longhorns. We'll be talking about a new foe and opponent and competitors entering the SEC coming from the Big 12. We'll see if they can hold up, man. But until then, you heard what I said, and we out.